Hello and welcome to another Seismic Cinema podcast. So put your feet up on the bench because you're a coach now. Grab some dollar to put some bets on cruise and get ready to slam dunk and score 3-pointers with us for the next probably 20 to 30 minutes because it'll be a bit shorter.
Nice, I like that. Did you prepare that whilst you were watching the movie?
Paul, I've always got lots of time and I'm waiting on you coming on live. So
Hey, it's a long water break. Yes, so Hustle. What a I don't want to spoil it straight off the bat, but what a great movie.
no, you can't spoil it right off the bat, Paul. That's not how a review goes.
Sorry.
How do you want?
Yeah.
How do you want to tackle this one? It's been a while since we've done a non-Star Wars review.
I know. Well, in Hustle, there's no lightsabers. There's no force powers. Yeah, that's a bit weird. I don't know. It was a bit weird. This is a film I never thought I would really watch. I'd seen it on Netflix, and it was basketball, and I'm not really a big fan of basketball. But the other half, Scarlett, she wanted to watch it, and it was a really good decision. I really enjoyed this movie. So maybe just a brief overview, and then what we liked and didn't really like, or whatever.
So yeah, this is a good moment to point out that this will be a spoiler review of the movie, which is, I assume, a Netflix original.
I think so, because it's the only place I've seen it is in Netflix.
To be honest, I know it is a wee bit of a spoiler, but I'd say it was a good enough film to be in the cinema.
Yeah, it does. It does have that kind of feel, doesn't it?
Not to say Netflix films aren't great. I don't know. It's just I'm still not used to just the fact movies just go onto the streaming services now without a cinematic release.
Yeah. I just feel like it should have a bigger stage, I think, and a bigger presence. But
so this could be our chance to promote it. So
Netflix.
No, promote Hustle, the movie, get people to watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go in off the bat and say I thought it was pretty funny. Like there's some lines we can't repeat on here for obvious reasons, but I thought the humor was really good, and I thought Adam Sandler's humor in it picked up as the movie went on because he was quite serious at the start.
Yeah, but he never got overly silly with the humor, which I was quite glad about. Because some of his earlier stuff can get a wee bit out of hand. But I really enjoyed his actual serious parts as well.
Is it worth just saying, given our previous impressions of Adam Sandler and his movies, just to give a bit of context to the review?
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Oh, you talk first. I talk first. I've always quite liked Adam Sandler, if I'm honest. I really liked the movie Just Go With It. It was basically a rom-com with Jennifer Aniston where they pretended to be a married couple and they went on holiday with his kid. I thought that was a really funny movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't think so. The only thing I've seen him with Jennifer Aniston in is Murder Mystery.
Right, I think really enjoy that. Just Go With It's really good. I would just go with it and watch that. It was good. There was a Big Daddy when we were in the 90s with Cole Sprouse, who grew up to be on Riverdale.
Right, I've not seen Riverdale.
No. And my favourite one, not favourite one, good. It's a good film, but it makes me really sad. Click.
Yeah, I didn't.
Never watched that.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I was like, the ending was rough, like very rough.
Yeah, I was like really emotional, but up till that point, it was enjoyable. That was just a really sad ending.
Yeah. What about before that? Did you ever watch like Happy Gilmore and things like that?
I've not actually seen Happy Gilmore, I don't think.
Oh, did watch it.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I do like him. Like he's one of those kind of Marmite actors, isn't he? That people either love or hate.
Yeah. Oh, my dad despises him.
Yeah.
And because he's so daft in some of the things he's in, like Happy Gilmore, Little Nicky.
Oh, I've seen Little Nicky. Yeah, I've seen Little Nicky.
But it has like some real like horrible ones, like Jack and Jill and things like that. Like just total terrible humor. But my dad, I told him about this movie and I was like, Dad, you need to watch this movie. It's really, really good. And I was like, oh mate, yeah, it sounds really good. Who's in it? Adam Sandler. No, not watching it.
Yeah. So saying at the start, I thought it was a really funny film. There was a couple of lines that stood out to me. It was like they were saying how the daughter wasn't athletic, and it was it's like you should see her playing checkers. She just falls down. It was something like that.
Yeah.
They're
it's quite funny. It's quite funny because you're saying that, like, well, basically, this basketball prodigy is an actual serving NBA player just now, but you didn't realize he was an actual NBA player. You thought he was just an actor that could play basketball.
I quite like basketball. I did, although you said you didn't think you could imagine me playing basketball. I did quite enjoy it playing it when I was younger, and I wouldn't mind watching it. This film actually made me want to watch basketball and actually maybe take up basketball.
Yeah. Oh, we should adopt a team. Who should we adopt?
I know we could start watching basketball. That could be like a thing.
I know. We should stick out on Twitter and like tell who the best team is. Not the best team, but who should we support?
We could get a bit of basketball following on Twitter. That could be the next step.
But I think that was quite a good testament as well to show how good an actor the main guy was. And what's his name? His name is Juancho Hernan Gomez, aka Bo Cruz in the movie.
Yeah.
He was good. He did a really good job.
I thought all the characters had quite a bit of depth to them.
Yeah, their backstories are really good, and like you're saying, there's a lot of good interactions between them all.
I liked seeing the bond grow between Adam Sandler's character, which was called Stanley, and seeing the bond Stanley and Cruz grow as the film went on. I'm assuming you noticed it. They made it quite obvious in the camera shot, but he obviously said earlier in the film that he had no tattoos on his arm because his dad wasn't present in his life, but then he got a tattoo with the tree and a quote that Adam Sandler's character had said.
Yeah, was it never back down?
Yeah, so I thought that was nice. And it was nice that he wasn't actually, because obviously, spoilers, what is a spoiler review? Stanley becomes a coach eventually when the daughter of the guy who died takes over the team.
Yeah. Because Robert Duvall dies. He's the kind of he's the owner, the kind of the wise old owner, and he dies, but he leaves it as like kind of classic story, isn't it? He leaves it to his son, who's just a jerk, really, isn't he?
Yeah. It was quite interesting though that Cruz didn't end up on the same team as him. That was like a nice wee change up, that he was actually opposition, but then he's given the lowdown to his team on how to play him.
Yeah. And they end up, but such a great story, and like all the trials and tribulations of getting to that point, isn't it? Because he's doing his best to try and get his kid known, to get him in shape, but he's like super talented, but mentally he can get quite flustered.
I don't blame him though. Some of the things your screen name character Kermit the Frog, some of the things he was saying to him, like about his daughter and about his the daughter's mum, and it was pretty brutal. Like I think he was restrained himself quite well in that scenario.
Oh yeah. Some of the things that Kermit was saying, that you just want to punch his lights out straight there and then.
Like the daughter, I don't know what age the daughter was meant to be, but he's like, "Oh, I didn't ask her out or anything like that." It was like, nah, I didn't like him at all, and I felt for Cruz, because he's getting this reputation as this really violent guy, whereas they're obviously not seeing all the things that are being said to him on the pitch, and that's it is something that happens in the real world in sport. Like if you look at the situation with Glenn Kamara and the Slavia Prague game, like these things do, like Zidane and Materazzi in the World
Yeah,
Cup.
happened to the best thing.
So it is something that happens, and I thought that was one of the most interesting parts of the film was him learning to like how Adam Sandler's character was insulting him all the time in Spanish and making jokes about his mother and things like that because it was training him up to have that mental resolve.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was a really good take on the kind of classic sports movie, I thought. Because you really just see it and it's just like kind of like the person's not really good and they get better, and that's the kind of be all and end all of it. You don't really see the kind of all aspects of it. And like you were talking about, he was getting this reputation of being quite hot headed because he came across from Spain with a assault charge.
Yeah.
But the assault charge was because his was it ex-girlfriend or something, and her new boyfriend were trying to take his daughter off him to get money off the state.
Yeah. So there's obviously all the different sides to the story. I really like the scene when he goes to Spain to watch him play. Then he's using the translator on his phone, and he basically, it looks like he's chatting him up, and he starts running away from him. I thought that sequence was really good.
Yeah, I like the basketball part in that actually, because he's like wearing his work boots and things, and he's just hustling for money.
Yeah. So again, about humor, my screen name character Boban Marjanovic was the guy who is claimed he was 22 with a 10-year-old son, but looked a bit double that in age. He was quite funny.
Yeah, because you need to be 22 to be in the draft. He's like, yes, I'm 22.
Yeah, so there was times where I was like, oh, it's a wee bit predictable. You can see where it's going, but it did, as you said, it didn't follow just that one path. There was like bumps in the road. There was one bit I did call when they were saying like when Cruz looked quite down. I knew they were going to bring the daughter and the mum over.
Yeah.
In my head, obviously I wasn't with anyone, so I didn't say it, but I predicted that was going to be the case.
The mum was quite funny, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. I was a bit confused. I thought that was his wife at first because when you see her, she is quite young looking.
Yeah.
And when you see her through the window, like you don't really know at that stage that that's his mum, but obviously you work it out through context quite quickly.
Yeah. Did you like the soundtrack in the movie?
That was something I didn't. We made a decision not to make any notes, and there was a few times in this film where I was like, oh, I kind of want to write down that quote or that point so I remember it. But yeah, the soundtrack was definitely something that I enjoyed, and that, as we've talked about in our soundtrack ranking, so shameless plug, is a massive part of movie and TV for me. I actually followed it on Spotify after the movie finished.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I Shazammed quite a few just so I could get them on my phone.
No, it does add to it. There was times when I thought they were montaging too much, but I think a kind of sports movie like this,
yeah, there's only running up the hill.
It works. It never got too much. I just thought there was times where I was like, maybe they're montaging a wee bit too much, but that's not a massive criticism.
But it's crazy the amount of skill you need to have, like you know when they're doing like the kind of basketball drills and they're like throwing the ball through the rolling tire and things like that.
And there was a bit where he's having to hit the buttons, the lights on the wall when he's doing it as well.
Yeah, I would never be able to do that. I would fall flat on my face before I could do any of that.
Do you want to join the local basketball club, Paul?
Not with my knee, no.
Well, we find a basketball team to watch, though, and we check out a game.
Sure. Glasgow Rocks.
Now we'll need to do some proper research. Yeah, so soundtrack was something I was going to mention. Just try to see if there's anything else in particular that stood out. I thought the cast was really good.
Yeah.
In general.
Everyone was really recognisable. The one thing I wish about the cast though is I wish I followed basketball more so that I knew who, like, obviously there's like loads of big basketball cameos in it, and I
Yeah.
just wish I knew more of who they were. So it's probably like it probably more added more to me, but I'd imagine if you're into your basketball, it's amazing.
We can maybe do a retrospective review once we become basketball nerds. But I don't feel
Oh,
like you had. I don't feel like you had to know much about the sport to enjoy it. It's maybe not an obvious one for me, but I do really enjoy, and I knew I would enjoy this going in. Like I really enjoyed the Creed movies, and I'm not into boxing at all. I thought
oh yeah,
the Creed movies were excellent.
I've not seen them yet either. No,
Have you not
so
seen Creed?
I've not seen Creed yet.
Oh, I've seen both of them. There you go. There's a win.
Have you
A
seen
win.
the Rocky movies?
I've seen the first one. I haven't watched like the rest of them, but the first one's like the best one I've heard.
Yeah, was him running up the hill, running up the steps, giving you Rocky vibes.
Yeah, a lot of it did. It also reminded me a wee bit of a Run Fat Boy Run without the Fat
Oh,
Boy.
Simon Pegg classic.
Yeah, I love Run Fat Boy Run. I think it's a great film.
It's a great film, and they've got the guy from the Eternals in it.
Yeah, and they've got the guy that voices Darth Maul as well. No, it's not. That's a different guy. It's
Yeah.
Hank Azaria I'm thinking of. Apu, former Apu.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't remember Ray Park being in there.
So Adam Sandler, what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. A lot different to what I'd seen of him before. I really enjoyed it. Straight after that, have you ever seen Uncut Gems?
No.
That's like another serious Adam Sandler movie. It's like totally different vibe from this.
Good.
It is good, yeah.
Is
Lots of swearing though.
Is it an uncut gem?
Yeah, it's different. Stressful.
Stressful.
Yeah, it's like one of these films you watch it and you just know the character seems to do something good and then totally messes it up straight away by making the wrong decision. But I'll let you figure that one out if you watch it.
I just thought his humor was on point. It was nice seeing like an older, like wiser version of him as well.
Yeah, and he wasn't afraid to take the mickey at himself, which was quite good.
Yeah.
Which
No,
he did quite a lot.
definitely. It was a good shout from you to watch it, and I enjoyed checking it out.
Yeah, and if MD ever looks on IMDb and sees a review from me, it wasn't me that wrote it. I have no idea what it says, but it was Mother Half Scarlet that wrote it because she was just so in love with this film, and she fancies whole cruise mad.
I thought I quite liked how they brought the daughter into the storyline and made it quite relevant because they mentioned about her going to film school, then she starts filming and playing basketball and then creating the whole viral campaign. I thought that was quite good that she had a proper part in the film.
Oh yeah, the Boa challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we should do something like that, Paul. Get the followers up.
I don't think we've got enough money for that kind of stuff. The guy was giving out like $50 if they hit the rim of the basketball hoop. I think if we did that, we'd be broke within about 10 minutes.
Maybe. It's funny, like you obviously suggested it. I'd already seen it mentioned, so I probably would have checked it out eventually, but obviously to do the review, obviously I watched it a bit earlier.
Yeah. I envy you watching it for the first time just there.
Is there anything else? Obviously, I just watched it once, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
So obviously
I don't know.
He obviously was. Sorry, you go.
You go. God, you need to stop talking over each other.
He was obviously a scout, and then the owner of the team died. He seemed like a really nice guy. So it was quite an emotional scene when he was in the car and he found out that the guy died. And then I thought what the film was going to be is that I thought he was going to take over as like the manager or the owner.
Right, okay.
And then obviously it was the son who was horrible. I thought at first he was going to be a wee bit like that, but then a wee bit redeemable. But he was pretty horrible throughout the film. But I
Yeah.
really liked the scene when Adam Sandler's character quit the job.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you're just like, come on.
And then the wife's like, "Yeah, I told you to do it, but once you've done it, I didn't think it was a good idea."
Yeah, it was too scary now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like their dynamic. I thought he had a wee bit of a. I think he flirted quite a bit with the blonde owner.
I don't know. I think it's maybe one of these things where they've been around each other so long that they're just kind of like buddy kind of thing because they've been working together so long.
I thought there was a wee bit of a vibe between them. I like the guy that he was helping him get Cruz onto the draft. I quite like
Leon.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of good characters, and you could tell they're kind of given to their all. Because I was finding that, like, obviously there's like a load of sportsmen added into this film.
Yeah.
But I think they all acted like really, really well, considering, like, you know, some movies where you watch it and when they have like sports people in, it's just so obvious that they're not comfortable and they sound totally out of place.
Like David Beckham.
Yeah. Like Lance Armstrong in Dodgeball.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm glad I watched it, and it's got me back into watching movies again after a wee hiatus when Obi-Wan was on. So I'm looking forward to getting back in. I think after this pod, we might just have a wee quick chat about what we want to do over the next couple of weeks in terms of new releases.
Yeah, definitely.
A very quick
chat. We're going to do a rating of this episode as well?
Yeah, it's a film poll, not an episode.
We're going to do a rating of this film.
Right. Okay. It's hard. Like, I feel like we rate films. It's hard to rate it. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, are we just rated this film in pure isolation as a movie, not in comparison to all the other films we've seen? Do you know what I mean? Is it just like this film?
I would say in isolation, because we've not really done a movie like this. Because it's obviously like different to The Shining or whatever. So you can't really compare it to The Shining. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 then, because
Jesus.
I don't think there's any flaws in it. My only nitpick was the montages went on a bit too long, and there was too much basketball being played. Like, it's not really a criticism. So I don't think I can really know anything of it. I don't think there was anything about it that was weak.
Yeah. I like that, Colin. That was quite a big, bold step there. I like that.
Well, when we talked about doing it in isolation, I'm not comparing it to the rating of every film I've ever watched.
Yeah.
That film, for what it was, good characters, good soundtrack, good action, good heart, so a few twists and turns. Yeah, I'm happy with giving it a 10.
Yeah, good. For me, I'm probably going to go do this down the same route as you and say a 10 as well.
Because there isn't, like, can you think of anything that was particularly weak about it or not great about it?
Not really. Like, from start to finish, like, I was really invested in this one. I really enjoyed it. It was just really good, positive. It was like just a good, feel-good film, wasn't it?
You like feel-good vibe?
Yeah. And it's probably one of these films, like, you know, if you're just kind of not feeling it, just switch it on. It probably instantly put you in a good mood. Maybe not when the old man dies, but I mean, just seeing both Cruz and Adam Sandler.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely one I enjoyed, and I think people should check it out. People who have seen it will be checking this out, I hope. But I think we'll do a bit of promo, Paul. We'll get a bit of the basketball vibe going on Twitter. Maybe follow some basketball related stuff
and figure out what's going
on. So yeah, social media plugs. We're nearing 800 followers on Twitter, which is great. So please follow us and engage with us. That'd be great. Instagram, we're plugging on a wee bit slower as is Facebook, but give us a follow. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're listening and like what you've heard and you want to hear more from us, and hit that wee bell. And I promise in the future we'll work out how to put fancy things on the screen. And our podcasts are available at all the good podcast locations like Spotify, Apple, Google, all the podcast locations. So this podcast is going to come out on Monday evening, we'll say 7 o'clock. And we don't know what's coming next because we've not discussed it yet, but we will keep you up to date on social media.
Good job. Like that.
I'm going to go away and slam some hoops. No.
Wow.
Right? Dunk some hoops.
Oh,
what was it?
No. Don't slam any hoops.
Right, I'll get some 3-pointers.
Man, you talk about the language in this show, and you're talking about slamming hoops. Jesus.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, on that note, thanks for listening.
Find our basketball team.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.